But folks, a quick housekeeping word before I show you some really amazing images from customers. But all of the orders that are going out on Monday are for the unpainted jig head. Actually, this one is not a jig head. One guy from Tennessee, I don't want to display the name here, but he ordered only the grease. He didn't want none of my jig heads, but he did order the grease. Anyway, we've been out of stock of the black color for a few days now. I'm working on getting more of the black color, but it's gonna be at least a couple of months before. I'm hoping 2 to 3 months, unless something bad happens, before we get more of the black color. Folks, you can make your own color. I have a nice video. I will leave a link to that video in the description box below of how I used to do my own jig heads. This is the paint that I recommend. It's called Protec. Buy only the original paint from the original company that sells it. YouTube sells a lot of these paints that look very similar. People are printing their own labels on the printers at home and selling fakes, selling paint from Harbor Freight, which is inferior. I have tried them. It kind of paints, but it's inferior. You don't want to save $1 because with one jar you make like, I don't know, hundreds of jig heads, but you save just $1 from the cheaper paint. Don't save $1. Buy the good paint. And I have some nice colors. You can see them in the video. But I am done with colors at this point of my life. I gotta tell you, if you like colors, I have some awesome blue and red colors. Check the video. I will leave again a link to that video in the description below. What I do now is buy the black color, buy chartreuse metal flake. You can even see the numbers, 55M. And buy gold metal flake. I can show you some of these flakes. Okay, this is absolutely gorgeous stuff. So buy whatever green or whatever metal flake you want. Then just buy the black color. You don't need metal flake. You can paint them flat black, like the ones that I sell. But I put just a little bit. I don't like too much. But I put just a little gold flake in this one, and the color is absolutely gorgeous. Again, watch the video to see how I do them and the tools that I use. You need something like this that you can lock to hold them to dry them. But okay, enough about this. Let me show you some absolutely awesome customer images with the BG1 now. Alright folks, the first picture is from Joe Hannick from Western Washington. Folks, just look at this thing. Can you make a more delicious looking ultralight jig than this? If so, please send me your pictures. I love beautiful pictures with my BG1 jig head, even if it's just dressed with a lure. There is some art into, dressing the jig and the lure in a way so they perfectly integrate and it looks like a single item, and you can't even tell where is the head, where is the lure, because they look like one piece. I'm saving this picture in my gallery forever. If you want to try this is Nico Cadiz 1.5 inch, and you can tell on the image exactly where he trimmed it to install it like this. Joe is saying he's catching bluegill, crappie, perch, trout, and even bass on this thing. And even though I have never fished this, I absolutely believe it. Alright, here is a couple of pictures from Mr. Stan Strickland. And he sent me a bunch of pictures and they were all gorgeous, but I'm not gonna show all of them. Folks, would you look at these pictures, and especially the one on the left? Can you even see the damn jig head? Where is the jig head? That jig head, folks, is gone. You need to look pretty careful to find where exactly the jig head ends and the lure starts. I mean, you can't even see the hook in this image. Where is the hook? Can you tell right away where the hook is? If I have any beginner ultralight anglers watching this video, which I don't have many, but if I have any beginner anglers, you need to sear this image at the back of your brain, because this here is exactly the goal of matching the jig head to the lure. The jig head needs to just disappear into the lure. Especially if you fish in very clear water or shy pressured fish, this here will help you catch a few fish where everybody else failed. Alright, here's a couple of pictures from my buddy Victor Davis with some kind of micro craw. By the way, I'm not familiar with any of the lures in this video. Don't ask me for links. I'm not familiar. I don't know where to get them. I didn't ask the people for links. Just Google them and you're gonna find them most likely. If you don't find them, find something that looks close to them. But this is some kind of micro craw. And as with the previous images, it looks absolutely delicious. Tell me what self-respecting juvenile bass is gonna pass on this. Even bluegill, I know my bluegill, even bluegill, they will go for this. I do want to warn you though, if you use lures with this kind of profile with the BG1 jig head, don't expect a high hookup ratio, because the pinchers will get in the way. You have to think about what happens inside the mouth of the fish. Where do these pinchers go inside the mouth of the fish? Especially if they're soft, they can fold back and wrap around the body of the lure, and they can wedge in right between the body and the mouth of the fish, and the hook just cannot make good contact with the mouth of the fish. So this looks amazing. You're gonna get a lot of bites, but you will miss some fish. Alright, here's a picture from Tommy Coleman from Alabama with the Charlie Brewer 1-inch slider. Now, I've already made at least 3 videos about this lure, and I told you that when it comes to searching for bluegill beds without electronics, this is, I think, the best thing out there, just because you can fish it faster than a trout magnet or the other larvas that I already showed you, because those you gotta twitch them and fish them slower. This you can run it pretty fast, you don't need to twitch it, and the tail will give you the action. So I think it's just the best thing for finding bluegill beds and catching the bluegills too. But once you find the bed, you can throw whatever you want. But anyway, I think this image is great because it gives you perfect sense of proportion. You can tell that this little thing is just the absolute perfect snack size, the perfect swallow size for this bluegill in the image here. And here is some bluegill candy, image courtesy of James Bosch. I don't fish these things. I have never actually once fished hentai jigs or any kind of fly, but I know bluegill, and I can tell you there is no bluegill in the world that will tolerate something that looks like this around its bed, even without bed. This absolutely looks like some kind of insect or fly fell in the water. Bluegill will attack to eat immediately, not to kill. They will attack this to eat. And here is a picture from Mr. Gary from Washington. Yes, the same Mr. Gary who sent me all of the tackle. Half of the reviews on my YouTube channel are just tackle that Mr. Gary sent me for reviews. But look at this chunker of a bass he got on the little BG1 with size 12 hook. Absolute chunker, absolute football. Good job on cleaning that fish and watering it and preparing it for a picture. Absolutely gorgeous image. Now look at the hook keeper on Mr. Gary's rod. It's orange color. And guess what? Now I'm gonna go and browse eBay until I find them cheap Chinese hook keepers with orange colors, because I want an orange color hook keeper on my Presso Air AGS rod now. And this silly hook keeper is actually a great example of why I love all the pictures you guys are sending me. When you send me a picture with the BG1 jig head, I also see what kind of lures you're using. I see what tackle you're using, what kind of fish you are catching, where are you fishing. And all of this information is kind of fascinating and very curious on the first place. But also, if somebody is designing a product, it's kind of not only interesting but very useful too. So if you're not lazy, take a picture and email it to me, because I promise you, I love every one of these emails. Even the people who sent me multiple emails already, like Stan and his buddy Mike, Latif from New Jersey, the Ung brothers from California who have been so nice with me, so supportive, Tommy from Alabama. Even though you guys sent me several emails already, if you're not lazy, you catch something else that's kind of interesting with my jig heads, and you don't mind sharing, I'll be happy for every email you send me.